Morning, morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We are learning Mishnah Shabbos, Perik Test, Chapter 9, Mishnah Vav, Mishnah 6. Our learning should be a schos from a mother, Miss Shlamas Rabinowitz, Shlamas Bas Rabbi Yaakov Eliezer. Okay, continuing with the amounts of different objects by which you will be liable for transgressing the malacha, by doing or performing the malacha of haitzah, of carrying out. Popeles kolshahu. Popeles, they translate as popeles. Now, popeles often is used to mean pepper. But in this context, it doesn't mean regular pepper, but it actually means some type of a pepper that were used to prevent bad breath. The Bartanur points out it is not a regular peppercorn. That is a spice that was included in spice that we mentioned previously. It's some kind of a type of a pepper, and it was used to prevent bad breath. How much of it do you need to prevent bad breath? A very small amount. Therefore, the Mishnah says any amount of pilpeles is considered significant enough to be considered carrying something significant to be considered desecrating Shabbos through transferring, through carrying. Kol shahu, any amount.
Kol shahu.
That's the wording used here. Mashu is also sometimes used, but here's kol shahu. The itran is translated as itran. Okay, it does not say exactly here what it was. We had itran before. Itran should be a liquid because I think itran was one of the things mentioned about using it as a fuel for Shabbos candles in the second parak. So it's a liquid. But here, itran is being used to heal headaches. The way the Bartanura says it is a minute amount suffice to heal an ache that is felt in half of the head. That's how it says in the Bartanura, in half of the head. Which half? I don't know, but half of the head. And a minute amount was used to heal the headache. Therefore, any amount is considered significant. Next, minei besamim, types of spices, uminei matachos, and types of metals. Kol shehein, any amount. Now, this is interesting, the fact that these two things are paired together. But the point is that, again, any amount of a spice or any amount of metal is considered significant. Why is that? Because even a small, very, very small amount of fragrant spices gives a pleasant aroma, and people would even hold on to a small amount to use to give for them to make that pleasant aroma. And when it comes to the metals, even a very small amount, even a minute amount of metals is considered significant because it has a usage. What's its usage? No. What's its usage? A tiny piece of metal can be used as a needle for the tip of an ox goad, a pointed tool used to drive cattle. I guess it was this little piece of metal at the tip that they used to goad the animal on to make the animal move, and therefore it has significance, even a very, very small piece of metal. Next, may abnei hamizbeach, a chip of the stones of the mizbeach of the Beis Hamikdash, the altar of the Beis Hamikdash, umei afar mizbeach, from the dirt that fills the mizbeach, the altar, mekek svarim, decayed remains of svara means sacred scrolls. Umekak.
Now, what was that again, please?
What was what? It means decayed remains of svara means sacred scrolls.
Okay.
Whether it be a Sefer Torah, whether it be a Sefer Tanakh, but again written on parchment, like with all the halachas like a Sefer Torah. Umekak mitbechayseim, or the decayed remains of what you wrap the svarim in. Kol shehu, there too, any amount of them, you'd be liable for carrying on Shabbos. Why? Shematznian oisan legunzan, because people put them away to put them in Geniza, to store them away in a safe place. All these examples we gave, chips of stone from the Mizbeach, from the dirt of the Mizbeach, the decayed remains of a sefer or it's wrapped in a sefer. What do you got to do when you find them? When you get hold of them, if you have them, you got to put them in Geniza. You got to put them in a place where they will be not used in a disrespectful way. Therefore, and how much of any of these things do you need to put into Geniza to protect them from being desecrated? The answer is any amount. Now, how exactly we ended up from the stones of the Mizbeach or from the dirt of the Mizbeach, not so sure. I guess it was a Kohen who got hold of it somehow or another and took it out. But the point is that any of these amounts are considered significant. Why? Because, again, they're not going to be used, but they would be stored away. because of the fact that they have to be treated in a respectful manner. And any amount of them has to be treated that way, and therefore any amount of them is considered significant. Rabbi Yehuda says, Av even one who transfers something that is used for idol worship. There too, kol shehu, there too also any amount would be considered significant for transferring on Shabbos. Shenema, as the pasuk says, nothing should cling to your hand from that which was banned. This is where we derive that you may not possess or have any benefit from anything that is related to avodah zarah. The example used in this was things used to serve avodah zarah. For instance, a knife used to slaughter a sacrifice to an idol. That's called mishamshe avodah zarah. That's called an accessory. That's called something that you use to take to serve the avodah zarah. That too is forbidden for you to possess, and therefore it says like this: being that the Torah, now how much of any of these things related to avodah zarah, and of course the avodah zarah itself, how much of them do you have to? How big does it have to be obligated to get it out of your house? The answer is any amount, any size. And Rabbi Yehuda therefore says that being that any size of avodah zarah or something that serves avodah zarah, the Torah forbids us to possess. If the Torah makes any amount of avodah zarah significant enough to have to remove it from your possession, that makes it considered significant also for Shabbos. It's not a significance for usage. It's not a significance because you want to put it away in a respectful manner. You don't want to put it away. On the contrary, you want to get rid of it, and you want to somehow or another, you want to destroy it. But the point is that according to Rabbi Yehuda, if it's significant enough to be forbidden, then it's significant enough to be considered carrying on Shabbos that amount. The Bartanura also adds that being that any amount has to be removed from your house, anytime you remove avodah zarah from your house, you're basically fixing your house. You're spiritually fixing your house. So again, there is the fact that the Torah tells us that any amount should be removed, which means any amount you're fixing, besides the fact that it's forbidden to possess, Torah considered it enough to be forbidden to possess, you're also fixing your house, so to speak, spiritually by getting rid of it. That gives a significance for Shabbos also to be considered haitzah, to be considered that you're transferring something significant enough to be liable for carrying on Shabbos. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.